Hey YouTube, Kira Twig here, bringing you all my FA Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck profile for post-Rising Rampage. A lot of you asked and requested that I do an update to the FA deck. They finally received their Link monster in the TCG. Definitely does add a good amount of support that the deck needed to help, just with its consistent plays. The whole point of the deck just being able to make consistent synchro summons and make use of the different FA field spells and all the different spell and traps to build counters on your FA monsters to have a bunch of different effects as well when their levels are at a specific height and when they're like over level 7 and so on. Really interesting deck. I love learning about all the different effects of the FAs. I previously only looked into the UA deck, but FAs seem just as interesting. So let's go ahead and get started with the deck profile. So to start off, for the monsters, I run 3 FA Hang On Mock. With this one, it gains attack equal to its level times 300. It's unaffected by activated effects from an opponent's monster whose original level or rank is lower than this card's level. Each time an FA spell or trap or effect is activated, you can increase this card's level. If this card is level 7 or higher, any card sent to your opponent's graveyard is banished instead. So, aside from being unaffected by activated effects, your opponent's monsters whose original level or rank is lower, which is a big help, especially just also being able to have your opponent's cards banished whenever they're sent to the graveyard when you build up this card's level is another big help as well. And the big focus of the FAs is also just having the proper levels on the field so you can get out your synchro summons as well. Which also I am running 3 FA Whip Crosser. With this one, gains attack equal to its level times 300, just like Hang On Mock, and your opponent must pay 300 life points to activate the effect of a monster whose original level or rank is lower than this card's level. Each time an FA spell or trap is activated, you can increase this card's level by 1, and if this card is level 7 or higher, your opponent cannot discard or send cards from their hand to the graveyard to activate card effects. So getting rid of that costs, for your opponent really shuts down a lot of cards they could potentially activate from their hand, since a lot of cards require a cost for discard or send from the hand to activate. So this shutdown definitely does take care of a lot of things. Twin Twisters is one thing that pops into head with this card, but having this and Hang On Mock just set up on the field alone, like I said, shuts down your opponents so quickly that it is very scary for them to go up against. I also run 3 FA Dark Dragster. It cannot be normal summoned or set. It must first be special summoned from your hand by having a level 7 or higher FA on the field, but no FA Dark Dragster in your monster zone, and it gains attack equal to its level times 300. And each time an FA spell or trap or effect is activated, you can increase this card's level by 1, and once per turn you can target one card on the field, reduce that card's level by 3, and if you do, destroy that target. So just being able to have the pop ability, but also an easy special summon for your monsters definitely does help for more extra deck plays, including Dracosac, just you have the rank 7 plays if your levels are high enough with Whip Crosser, and then Dragster on the field, so you can get more extra deck plays as well with the tokens you make off of Dracosac. And then I am also just testing out 1 FA Sonic Meister. It gains attack equal to its level times 300 and cannot be destroyed by battle with an opponent's monster whose original level or rank is lower than this card's level. And each time an FA spell or trap or card effect is activated, you can increase this card's level by 1, and if this card is level 7 or higher, it can make up to 2 attacks on monsters during each battle phase. It's just a setup card. It has a good, I would say, stall tactic. The only weakness obviously being against Link monsters. I wanted to test it out at 1. I'm pretty happy just having an additional level 4 FA monster to work with the tuners we run in the deck as well, so definitely does come in handy for those. And for the FA tuner, I run 3 FA Auto Navigator. With this one, if this card is in your hand or graveyard, you can target an FA you control whose current level is higher than its original. Special summon this card, and if you do, reduce the target's level by the difference between its current and original. And if you do, this card's level becomes equal to that level reduction. And if this card is normal or special summon, you can add 1 FA field spell from your deck to your hand. You can only use each card effect of FA Auto Navigator once per turn. So the easy special summon definitely reminds me of Destrudo, just being able to adjust the levels. Then you can have proper synchro summons for your FA synchros, of course, but also just being able to have an option to go into our new FA Link monster definitely does help as well, since you just need 2 machine monsters to make that Link monster in the deck. So this special summon definitely does help, and you don't have too many summon restrictions with the FA deck, so having those available is a definite bonus as well. And a good amount of the FA monsters we have revealed so far have been win monsters, so I'm testing out one freshly off the new on the ban list. Tempest, Dragon Ruler of the Storms. This card definitely is a big boost to having another level 7 in the deck for just our plays to go off of. So it is a big help, like I said, just being able to banish and get another monster on the field for resources to use. And for more graveyard setup for our synchros, I am running 2 Destrudo, the Lost Dragons Frisson. At the cost of half the life, you can adjust the levels of our other FA monsters while it's in the graveyard or in your hand, and then obviously have the level 7 play to go into most of the time our play being one of our best synchros in the deck, which is FA Dawn Dragster. So I like to run the 2 Destrudos just for a little more consistency. You can set it up in the graveyard, also if it's in your hand. Just better ways to have it in your hand to use, or just if you have one banished by your opponent, just having another option to go for. And lastly, to finish off the monsters, I run the 1 Armageddon Knight. This one is just for more of the Destrudo setup. It definitely does help just for those synchro plays when you want to go for them, since FA Dawn Dragster just needs 1 tuner and 1 non-tuner, so pretty generic with those plays you can make. And just having this card, like I said, for the setup and with some of the other sets, definitely is one of the quickest ways to get Destrudo in the graveyard to use. And that is it for the monsters. Moving on to the spells, I run 3 FA Test Run. You target 1 FA monster you control, change its battle position, then destroy 1 card on the field. And during the main phase, except this card would turn it was sent to the graveyard. You can banish this card from your graveyard, then target 1 face-up card you control, destroy it, and if you do, special summon 1 FA monster from your deck. You can only use each effect of Test Run once per turn. The pop effect definitely does come in handy with our non-link FA monster, but also just being able to have that special summon search with our monsters to go through the deck. Definite 3 of for that quick play option. The fact that it is a quick play gives us potential cards to use on our opponent's turn as well against their cards. It just overall has the special summon search and the able answer to take care of your opponent's cards, which definitely makes me want to run it at 3 for full power. I also run not 3, sorry. I was on 3 when I was talking about FA Test Run, but I only run 2 FA Downforce, another quick play spell. You target FA monster you control, increase its level by 2 until the end of this turn, and during your main phase, except the turn this card was sent to the graveyard, you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target 1 FA monster you control, increase its level by 2 until the end of this turn. You can only activate each effect of Downforce once per turn. The level adjustment is a big help depending on what plays we wanted to go for with this card, and then just having the banish to target an FA you control and increase its level is another added benefit for sure, just to get them higher than the original level and have the power increase and their own effects go off. And I also run for the continuous spell 3 FA winners. With this one, if you control an FA monster, this card cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. And when your FA monster, whose level is at least 5 or higher than its original level, battles an opponent's monster and inflicts battle damage to them, you can banish 1 card from your hand, field, or graveyard. You can only activate 1 FA winner once per turn, and if 3 of your FA field spells with different card names are currently banished and were all banished by the effect of FA winners, you win the duel. So that is an insane, win condition to go by for that. It's literally, on the text of the card, just being able to have that be your win condition, it makes it quite fun to use than having the 3 different FA field spells to use as well with the deck, which we are running, just so you have those options to go for with the field spells to use with FA winners. And I also, let's move on to the field spells. I run 3 FA Grand Prix. I tried to find a good ratio for the field spells. You want to run the 3 different ones to have the options for your FA winners, but with Grand Prix, increase the levels of all FA monsters on the field by 2 during the main phase and battle phase. Your opponent cannot target FA monsters you control with card effects. If this face-up card is on the field is destroyed by a card effect, you can add 1 FA card from your deck to your hand, except Grand Prix. You can only use each effect of Grand Prix once per turn, so you have the search option, but also the protection, which definitely does help for this card. But also, like I said, you need field spell setup for your FA winners as well. And I'm also running 2 FA Circuit Grand Prix and also 2 FA Off-Road Grand Prix. I love that they have the different, just the circuits that they race in make up for the field spells, but you have options with each one of these for the different increased levels for your FA monsters with FA Circuit Grand Prix, and when an FA destroys an opponent's monster by battle, it gives you draw power as well. And also with Off-Road Grand Prix, you have the options when it's destroyed by battle to discard one random card from your opponent's hand, and if a face-up card on the field is destroyed by a card effect, you can add one FA card from your deck to your hand except Off-Road Circuit. So you have more search effects, and then also the same with Grand Prix FA Circuit. For those, so you can keep on having consistently a field spell in your hand to use. But I'd say the biggest weakest we had in the deck was the fact that we were limited on our field spell search, so I just have the one Terraforming to run in the deck. For a few other one-ofs, one Foolish Burial works very, very well with Frisson, one Monster Reborn, and I'm also trying out one World Legacy Succession just so we have more monster consistency with our FAs if we invest in a Synchro or Link play. Most of the time, obviously, with the good arrows we have with Shining Star is a big help for sure. And then for the trap cards, I run 3 FA Dead Heat. When an opponent's monster declares a direct attack, you can special summon 1 FA from your deck. You can only use this effect of Dead Heat once per turn, and once per battle. If your FA monster battles an opponent's monster before damage calc, you can have both players roll 6-sided dice. If the result is higher, increase the level of your battling monster by 4 until the end of this turn, even if this card leaves the field. If your result is lower, destroy your battling monster. If it is a tie, both players roll again. So you're going off the roll with this card, but definitely can be a big benefit for the levels of your FA monsters, which is why I like to run this card, and it also just gives you that FA monster which you might not have at that specific moment. And lastly, for the traps, the one Metaverse, it's at 1 on the list, but just another option for your field spells on the deck depending on which one you need to play. And then for the extra deck, I'm running 3 of the new FA Shining Star GT. You just need 2 machine monsters to make it. If you wanted to run a few more generic links, you could try taking out numbers of this, reducing it just maybe for a couple Nightmare Link monsters. But it helps with the attack gain as well, and then also just being able to have the negation effect by putting counters on this card each time you activate a spell or trap. It is a once per turn, but still very, very strong. And like I said, gives you that link arrow setup for your other FA Synchro monsters, which we'll get to. I also run 1 Barricade Board Blocker. I like it for its field spell search. Also, just if you need to reuse them from the graveyard or even the FA Winners, which is also a continuous spell to search. Most of the time I do go for the Winners off this, so very, very helpful. And also 1 the Wind Charmer and 1 Great Fly, just for a little added support for the FA cards in the deck. And then that is it for the links. For the synchros, I run 2 FA Dawn Dragster. We already went over just how great they are for their negation. So FA Dawn Dragster definitely does come in handy for the spell or trap effect activation, and then just lowering its level to reduce it. So just the fact that it's in its main deck it was meant to be in is another big bonus, so you can keep raising Dawn Dragster's level. I also run 2 FA Motorhome Transport, bigger level monster, but also just giving you more effects for your level 11 or higher, or even if you see there, level 13 or higher, which is insane as well for your FA monsters, and gains attack by 300, and each time it's activated, you increase its level by 1 as well. And then for a little more generic synchro support, I run 1 Psyframe Lord Omega and 1 Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon. Just some options when you can make them, especially with your FA tuner in the deck. And then for the not Link monsters, we already went over the Link monsters, 1 Castel for the Exceed monsters, 1 Lightning Jadori, and 1 Mecha Phantom Beast Dracosac when you need them. They definitely do come in handy. But that is it for the deck profile. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Until next time, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and Kira Twig out.